went viral. The conference room in Geneva was silent, the kind of silence that carries tension so thick it can almost be touched. Cameras clicked softly, translators murmured through headsets, and two of the world's most contrasting figures sat across a long mahogany table: Vladimir Putin, with his familiar iron glare, and Senator John Neely Kennedy, wearing his trademark calm expression that hinted at both humor and quiet defiance. The world had tuned in to watch this meeting. It wasn't just about politics, it was about pride, principles, and power. Kennedy, known for his sharp wit and folksy wisdom, had built a reputation for speaking truth to power, no matter who stood before him. Putin, on the other hand, was a master of control and intimidation, used to seeing others shrink beneath his stare. As the cameras rolled, Putin leaned back in his chair, eyes narrowed, a half-smile curling at the corner of his lips. "Senator Kennedy," he began through his interpreter, "you speak much of diplomacy and values. Yet your country interferes everywhere, preaching peace while sowing chaos. Tell me," he paused, letting the words cut, "how can someone like you teach diplomacy when your house is always on fire?" A faint chuckle rippled through the Russian delegation. Kennedy didn't move. He didn't even blink. The room waited, the journalists, the aides, the cameras, all knowing that whatever came next could define the meeting. Kennedy slowly set down his pen, folded his hands, and leaned forward. "Mr. President," he said softly, "where I come from, we have a saying, a man shouldn't throw mud if he's standing in a swamp." A hush swept over the room. The translators stumbled to keep up. Putin's smirk faded just slightly, not gone, but strained. Kennedy continued, his voice steady, calm, but every word landed like a hammer. "Diplomacy isn't about pride. It's about peace. And peace isn't built by mocking others, it's built by understanding that we're all human, that every mother cries the same when she loses a son. That every child, whether in Moscow or Mississippi, deserves to grow up without fear." He paused. The silence was deep now. "So if you think diplomacy is weakness, you've mistaken kindness for surrender. And that," Kennedy said, his southern drawl deepening with conviction, "is a mistake that history has punished before." The cameras caught it all, the glance between the two men, the flicker of discomfort on Putin's face, and the quiet, unshakable strength in Kennedy's eyes. But then came the moment no one expected. As the moderator tried to move to the next topic, Putin made one last jab. "Perhaps, Senator, your speeches sound better on television than in practice." Kennedy smiled, not forced, not angry, but the kind of smile that said he'd already won. He gathered his notes, stood up slowly, and replied, "Maybe so, Mr. President. But at least my words aim to build bridges, not burn them." And then he walked off. The cameras flash.